Today we're going to take a look at why so many people are leaving New Jersey. The Garden State is one of those states that has seen more people leave than actually move in. Like most states though, in 2022 and 2023, there's been a bit of a baby boom. So it doesn't seem that bad when you just look at the population growth. New Jersey only dropped about 1% in 2022. The reason it isn't around 3 or 4% is the birth rate versus the death rate. We're in the middle of the COVID baby boom. When Americans are stuck at home and run out of things to watch on Netflix, it appears they start bumping uglies at a much higher rate. I mean, why not? You don't live together just for the conversation, right? According to a few different studies, for every 10 moves that involve New Jersey, 6 will leave and only 4 will move in to the Garden State. So what are the reasons people are flooding out of New Jersey? In this video, we'll explore the reasons most often given. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, the typical stuff. Now, this one is a bunch of things that show up but really didn't jump out. And they're kind of the typical stuff. People left because of crime, which, I mean, it's not that bad outside of Camden and some of the other cities. That's all. People that don't know New Jersey, that's what they think it is. They think it's just like one big city. Now, they do have some pretty good-sized cities, especially up near New York City, like Newark, Hackensack, Edison. Then down on the Delaware River, you have Trenton, and then even further southwest, you have Camden, which is right across from Philadelphia. Camden's a nightmare. But most of the city is pretty decent, so I think all the people that listed crime are probably coming out of Camden, Trenton, someplace like that. They also listed lifestyle, which is people that just want to change a pace, and the other people wanted to change of scenery. Maybe they moved to the desert, maybe they moved to the mountains of Colorado or Virginia, something like that. And of course, family and politics showed up. None of these were enough to be their own place on this list, so I just threw them in there as a collage of reasons. One interesting fact I did find was when they asked people of different political parties, 69% of Republicans said they wanted to move, compared to only 47% of Democrats said they wanted to move. Also, like I said, people listed family, and that's usually they just want to move closer to family. Maybe the kids moved out of state, they got grandkids, so, the grandparents move to be closer to the grandkids and their own kids. Stuff like that. Number 9, health reasons. Health reasons is normally, this one could almost be lumped in with one that's later on the list, but health reasons usually mean they want to move to a warmer climate. Maybe they're getting older, the arthritis, things like that. Maybe lung problems, because New Jersey doesn't have the best air quality, especially around the cities, obviously. Now, New Jersey does have some incredible hospitals, so it's not like a lot of people are leaving because they can't get a good neurosurgeon or something like that. They can get all that in New Jersey, and they're right across from New York. I think it has more to do with the air quality and want to move to a warmer climate. Number 8, traffic and crowds. Obviously, this is another one that made it on the list because of the cities, especially around New York City. If you don't know, just like so many other states where they share a border and there's 2 big cities next to each other, they're kind of the same metro area. Well, Newark, Hackensack, Jersey City, they're really all kind of the New York City metro area. And if you don't know about the crowds there, it's pretty bad, especially the traffic can get insane. Luckily, they've had decades and decades to work on their traffic system and their public transit. It could be so much worse. But yeah, crowds and traffic is what a lot of people leaving New Jersey listed as why they're leaving. Number 7, the taxes. Yes, this is a big one for people in New Jersey. They are the most taxed state in the country. Many of the middle class are the ones that are getting hit the worst, especially when it comes to property tax. The median property tax in New Jersey, and this could change, so don't give me a hard time if you watch this a year down the line. These are 2022 numbers, but the median property tax rate is about $2,400 for every $100,000 on your home. So if you've got a $500,000 home, roughly you're going to be paying about $12,000 in property tax every year. That is the highest rate in the country. Top of that, you got a lot of sales tax and income tax. Both are about average for the rest of the country, but when you stack that up with the highest property tax in the United States, it's pretty rough. A lot of people in New Jersey just feel they're being taxed to death. Number 6, jobs. Now, a lot of people move from every state because of jobs. And when you have different things like high taxes, traffic, crime, and an unfavorable lifestyle, it makes it easier to choose a new state if offered a job there. With states like New Jersey and California and New York are seeing this also, it's very expensive. So a lot of companies in other states are offering jobs to these people, and they look and go, you know what, I'm getting paid about the same, but my taxes are lower. Like Kansas has less of the stuff I hate. Why not move there? That's what's been drawing people to Nevada for so long from California. It's like, look, we don't have half the crime, half the crowds, and it's half the expenses. Why not come to Nevada and work? I think it's slowed down now, but for many years, people are just flooding out of Los Angeles for the Las Vegas metro area. That's sort of what's happening in New Jersey. The grass is always greener on the other side of the septic tank, you know? There's 3 main states that are luring a lot of New Jersey residents away: Iowa, Utah, and Idaho. It's like people in New Jersey have just given up on the eastern seaboard. Number 5, education. A major reason people are leaving New Jersey is they want to attend a college in a different state. In the last 5 years, New Jersey has been one of America's top exporters of college students. I find that one a little strange, but this is a very common thing in New Jersey. A lot of states don't have nearly as high a rate, especially like Wisconsin. Almost 70% of the students that leave high school for college in Wisconsin will stay in Wisconsin. Only about 45% of high school students in New Jersey choose to attend college in New Jersey. But it is kind of strange. New Jersey has some top-rate schools. Rutgers is phenomenal. Seton Hall is good. They even got an Ivy League college. Yale is in New Jersey. Stop typing. It's actually Princeton. Yale's actually in New Haven, Connecticut. How many of you were leaving the comment? But that one does surprise me a little bit because they do have some great universities and colleges in New Jersey. I don't know why someone wouldn't just pick one of those. Maybe just because it's New Jersey. Number 4, the weather. Yeah, the weather in New Jersey kind of sucks, mostly in the winter. Summers aren't terrible, it gets a little warm, and in the rural areas it does get pretty humid, but not like, you know, deep south humid. We're not talking humidity like Mississippi where you got mosquitoes that fly off with your children. Because of the weather, you find a lot of people moving out west to Arizona, maybe New Mexico, Texas, California, Nevada, Utah, and they also go down to Florida quite often. New Jersey is actually the second highest exporter of snowbirds to Florida. Like I've mentioned in a lot of other videos recently, a lot of people are choosing South Carolina over Florida in the last handful of years. Which, I mean, if I was a southern state, I would be doing everything I could to get retirees in. Most retirees that move have an income coming in, whether it's through a pension, retirement plan, or just Social Security. So when they move someplace, they don't take up a job that maybe a Florida or South Carolina or whatever state's resident may be doing. They're just bringing their money down and buying things and being part of the community. That's a win-win. Sort of like for the remote workers. If I was running a state, I would do everything I could to get remote workers in. One of the biggest problems any state faces is jobs for all the residents. If you're moving to my state, you're bringing a job with you and you're paying taxes, you're like gold. If I was like the mayor of Iowa, it's like day one, I would build the internet infrastructure and make sure we had the fastest internet in the country. And then I would start running ads to people in New York City, New Jersey, California about how you could come here, get free internet maybe, and work from home. Yeah, I'd give remote workers free internet. Just move to the state and pay your taxes. But back to the weather. This is one of the major things that people listed on why they're moving out of New Jersey. Snow can get pretty thick in New Jersey, and if you've ever had to shovel snow a couple winters in a row, you kind of start looking for warmer climates. When it's not snowing in the winter, of course, you got the cold and dreary weather, and this, affects people's attitude and their emotions and their mental well-being. Number 3, cost of living. New Jersey has a high cost of living throughout the state. The cities obviously are going to be higher, but the state pretty much is a pay-to-stay type state. Depending on the study, New Jersey has anywhere between the 12th and the 7th highest cost of living in the country. If you were to compare them to the state with the lowest cost of living, which is Mississippi, overall New Jersey is estimated to be about 49.9% more expensive than Mississippi. To give you an idea what that looks like, if you go to a restaurant and take your whole family and it costs $100 in Mississippi, it's $125 in New Jersey. Groceries are about 30% higher. Child services are only about 2.4 times higher than Mississippi. Now, Mississippi is just the extreme lowest. I'm just trying to give you an idea how high they are compared to the lowest. Number 2, housing costs. New Jersey is ranked 13th in the nation when it comes to housing costs. The median home price in 2022 was $424,000. In New Jersey, it was $455,000. At the same time, the average rent price in the United States was about $900, while in New Jersey, it was $1,369. Now, that's what they call the median, and that's kind of the middle, and it's something that just economists and real estate agents look at. The average person wants to know what the average price is. Now, it's sort of hard to nail it down for an entire state. Cities are much easier, but the average home is sold in New Jersey for about $520,000, 2022. At the same time, the average rent is in between $2,200 and $2,800. The average home price at that same time for the United States is about $100,000 less, and rent is about $1,000 less. Now, on top of that, you just feed into the fact that they have that incredibly high property tax. It's just ugly to buy a home or rent in New Jersey. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to another state, another city, there's a link for Home and Money. It's a website that'll help you with a bunch of things, but one of the things is get you in touch with a real estate agent in the area you want to move to. There's a link for that below. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, retirement. Yep, that's right. People are retiring outside of New Jersey. Of course, you got the snowbirds that once they retire, they just put New Jersey in their rearview mirror and they head to South Carolina, Arizona, or Florida. About 2/3 of the people leaving New Jersey were 55 years and older. Now, a lot of the reasons we already mentioned play into this. Higher cost of living drives retirees out of a state. Higher housing costs drive retirees out of the state. Cold weather drives retirees out of the state. And families also send retirees packing. Health reasons also send retirees out of state. I mean, nobody wants to shovel snow with a bad back in a house that's far too expensive for their fixed income. Am I right or am I right? But like I had mentioned earlier, a lot of retirees are choosing other states than Florida. Florida's always been the go-to one. It is still the most popular, but you're starting to see more going to South Carolina, like I'd said, Utah, Arizona, and Idaho. Maybe Idaho will quit complaining about Californians and start complaining about New Jersey residents. All right, that's today's video. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do so and give this video a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.